Hello and good evening. Thank you for joining us for this edition of Reporter's Notebook. I'm Emily Cervarich here in our digital studio. Hope you guys are hanging in there for your Thursday evening. I know it's kind of wet and kind of rainy out there, but I hope you're staying dry, staying warm inside. Our Kelsey O'Donnell was out today for the Big Rock Blue Marlin tournament. It's day 4 for the tournament. We have been tracking it. WNCT has been tracking it all week, giving you updates about what's going on down there. And I got Kelsey right here with us to chat a little bit about what was going on today.
Hi, Em.
Hey, Kelsey, how are you doing?
I'm good. So right now I'm still live in Morehead City. Well, not live for you guys, but we're in our live truck sitting outside of the landing because I wanted to hop on here and talk to you about the day. But basically, today there were no fish brought in, which is kind of unfortunate. But the good thing is that means that $500,000 purse, $500,000 purse is still up for grabs because no crew has yet to reel in a 500-pound marlin. There's been a bunch of 400-pound marlins, which I think is awesome. People were joking about it the other day that I guess the sea is just filled with 400-pounders right now. But it was a slow day for the most part. There were a few dolphins brought in and a few other fish, but they're not actual dolphins is what I learned. So I was super sad because I was thinking they're traditional dolphins, but they're a type of fish. I've learned so much over these past few days because typically I'm used to covering, I made a joke of it, but land sports versus stuff out in the water. So
That's awesome. So I know, the biggest fish I think still to record that they have for this week is the Predator's boat, which is like
yes.
494 pounds, 494.2 pounds. And then, I mean, that's
Right.
so close that they're just like right there, so close to 500. I can't imagine. People are probably out there scrambling and freaking out. But like you said earlier, I mean, there were only 11 boats that went out today, right?
Yes, so only 11 boats went out today because of weather conditions. I know we'll talk about it a little bit earlier, but I went out yesterday on a boat called High Tide. Um, and I got to experience, you can take a look at some of this footage right here. We were up bright and early around 5:30 a.m. is when we left. I think my alarm went off around 4, but it was rough out there. I mean, Mother Nature did not give us an easy task. The seas were rough. It was very bumpy. I learned that Dramamine is your friend when it comes to nauseousness, nausea, I guess to say. But it was fun. It was really cool to experience firsthand. We did reel in. We hooked up blue marlin around, I believe it was 9:15, and we fought it for about an hour. But when we brought it to the boat, they measured it. There's a big rock measuring tape to figure out if you are able to bring it in. But it was a little bit smaller than the requirements to bring in the blue marlins are 400 pounds, and ours marked out between the 300 and 400. So we're just about there, but this fish was massive. I don't know if, I'm pretty sure some footage is going to come up shortly here. If not, I'll have it later on. I'm going to be providing a full behind the scenes look on the Big Rock Blue Marlin tournament, what it's like out at sea, but it was insane to just be able to see this massive fish come in. And then later on, we had Kaylee, who was on board. She was our lady angler. She sat in a chair and reeled in a dolphin. So I believe it was a 21.2-pound dolphin, which was super awesome because there's money you can win from so many different ways. So right now, a lot of people are focused on, that first 500-pound marlin, because if you do get a 500-pound marlin or over, you win a $500,000. So that's a big chunk of change. Normally it's won on the first day, on Monday. But I mean, like you saw, the Predator was, 6 pounds short. So it's exciting, and I was really excited to be able to go out and experience it because it put everything into perspective of just the hard work that they go through. Because it's one thing to be here and to watch it from the landing or to report on it, but actually being in there full force and like being able to help with everything. And well, I couldn't really help with fishing, but being able to film it and everything and experience just the atmosphere out at the ocean was incredible.
That's awesome. I'm so glad you got to experience that. That is such a once in a lifetime cool opportunity to be able to, get out there and be on a boat during something like this. That's so cool.
Right.
And I mean, how was it watching people try to reel in these fish. I mean, I've been fishing before, for small things, and that can be difficult. Like 5 pound
Yeah.
fish can be hard to reel in. I can't imagine they have things hooked up, I assume, to the boat that kind of pulls that way. It can't just be, all man strength, right?
Well, right. So for the most part, I'm not sure exactly what it's called, but you sit in a chair. There's a chair on the back of the boat that was inside of it. That once you do hook up and catch a fish, you sit in this chair and you have it kind of. You're pretty much doing it yourself, but you are strapped in around your waist. Is what I noticed. The angler. So the angler is the one who reels in the fish. His name was Chase Taylor, and he is, I believe. He said he was going to be a sophomore in college at the Citadel, I think. Um, I'm sorry if that's wrong. I believe it is there. But we had a bunch of lines out. You couldn't drop them in until 9 a.m. and then they had to be out by 3 p.m. But once you have one hooked on, it was funny to watch because it was like a madhouse. Everyone was just trying to take all the other lines out. That way they wouldn't get caught on lines or hook another one. So everyone was bringing that in. But then you also have to have either photo or video proof. That way, if the angler is too small, you do get release points. So that's another thing that you are able to win points or win money from the big rocks. You earn points for releasing a blue marlin. So they had to run in and grab the GoPros and like make sure they're filming it, and then also make sure all of the other lines were out. But just watching Chase sit in that chair, and you could see it off in a distance, like kind of jumping out of the ocean. It was incredible. I tried to put myself in the position, like, what would I be doing? I'd be in the water if that was me. I don't think I would be able to hang on for dear life, but it was fun. But the waves, yes, it was super rough out there. Our captain, Ricky, was joking with us. He's like, you picked a pretty good day to come out, meaning it was a rough one. So I can't even imagine the 11 boats that were out today, what they were experiencing, because it was even more windy onshore today. So
with those 11,
it was fun.
Go ahead, sorry.
No, that's okay. I was just saying it was fun.
Well, with those 11 boats that went out, I mean, how did the crowd on land look today? Was there a big turnout? I know the weather was pretty rough down there today, out on the water, but on land, how did people come out?
So it actually turned out, I thought it was going to rain today. It turned out pretty nice. I think I got some sunburn today when I was doing my live shots, but the crowd was decent. I mean, it wasn't as big as it was Monday or Tuesday for the hype of the start of the tournament, but people are still here because they're excited and they know that someone's got to bring in a 500-pound marlin, or someone, I mean, maybe they won't, but that's still, that money is all on the line. So it's the excitement of, hey, someone's hooked up. Are they going to bring it in? Have they boated the marlin? Is it like what size? That type of a thing. So it's exciting when boats will back in. We know coming back because there is a feed, there's an app, and then they do it on Twitter if someone has boated a marlin. But for the most part, there were just dolphins brought in. But again, you can win points and win money for certain size other fish, like dolphin, I believe sailfish. I forget what the other one. There are 3 of them. But it was cool. So then they still got to weigh them in too.
That is cool. I didn't know that information, that you could bring in other fish and still get points and money. So that's really awesome. People, so it's not just one thing everyone's obviously competing for that 500-pounder, but, people can still have fun along the way if they catch other really awesome things and, get some prizes for that too.
Right.
So that's awesome. Did you get to hear if Michael Jordan's boat went out today? We did not get any news on that.
So they did not go out just because we were actually, our camera guy Tree was talking to one of their Michael Jordan's, who was someone who was on the boat with him the other day. But they were saying that they went out yesterday. I was actually, when I was on high time headed out, we took about a 2.5-hour boat ride out to get to our spot, but they were pretty much right beside us, and they were saying today that it was too rough yesterday because you could see in some of that footage that I showed, the waves would just smash onto the deck and it would weigh the boat down. It was just a never-ending cycle, and you do honestly feel like you're gonna flip off. I was hanging on for dear life up top. I was like, if I drop this camera, this is not gonna be good. But It was good.
That's awesome. Well, I'm so glad you got such an awesome experience. And I know I can't wait to see, the full story, the full footage, and hear you talk, a little bit more about your experience going behind the scenes for such a cool tournament,
Right.
such a cool event. And I'm sure the viewers are super excited as well. So, guys, be sure to definitely look out for that on our online originals page. And if you follow Kelsey O'Donnell TV on her Facebook, her
Yes.
Twitter page, she will definitely be posting something about that. She has been posting updates throughout her day there today. If you want to check some of those out, they're really awesome. Saw some t-shirt designs, things like that. So thank you so much for talking with us, Kelsey. I hope you had
Thank you for having me.
Of course. I hope you had a great day out there today. I hope your sunburn goes away. But yeah, thanks so much.
I love it. This is a new adventure for me, so I'm happy to be here.
Exactly. I'm here drying the studio and you're out there on boats having a blast. So I love it.
I love
Thanks so much, Kelsey.
Thank you.
Bye.